The Salone Internazionale del Libro has been going on here in Turin for 38 years. It's grown into the biggest book fair in Italy and one of the most important in all of Europe. This year's edition just wrapped up with over 254,000 visitors, one of the most attended in its entire history. But calling it a book fair doesn't quite do it justice. Across 147,000 square meters, there's over 1,200 publishers, live talks, concerts, podcasts, food, and events spilling out across the entire city. It's basically a 5-day festival where books are the main attraction. We had a great time overall, but the last day we had an unexpected encounter that put the cherry on top of this event. Of all the events that we have gone to over the last year, I think I'm most excited about this one because I love to read. Elena loves to read. It's my favorite method of learning Italian or learning a language. In Spanish, I did the same thing. Every morning we read together. I definitely feel like it's helped me. This is a huge, huge event. It's happening all over the city, but we're here at the main hall in Lingotto, the old Fiat factory, and also in Oval, the old Olympic speed skating. They still actually use it, I think, but it's used for lots of different fairs like this one, for example. So I'm excited to see what we can discover here, but my goal is to really try and find a book that we can read together.
Yes.
And to find like a graphic novel. I really like graphic novels. I've been reading comics since I was a kid. What are you looking for?
I would like to find something different from what we were reading all this time.
What were we reading?
We were reading Fabio Volo because yes, I know, I knew we could read this because his writing is very clear and very easy to read. So Philip read three books.
Yeah, out of the 4 major books that I've read since being here, Fabio Volo has 3 of them. And the reason why he's funny is because he's a romance writer. And romance is not really my style, but he is relatively easy to read for a beginner/intermediate. So we're looking for something a little bit different than that genre.
Yes, and I would like to find dark gothic genre.
Yeah.
Something mysterious, something paranormal, something different from what I'm usually reading. And my favorite genre is noir, thriller, giallo, something to discover, poliziesco murder. Also, I like... yes, noir, some tragedy, no?
Yeah. So we'll be coming here basically for the next 3 or 4 days to see what we can find so we can just take our time. So today is day number 1.
Yes.
And let's go.
Andiamo.
I was thinking, we'll go the first day at 10 o'clock. You know, it'll probably be the least amount of people, but no, it is absolutely packed to the gills, which is a good thing. I'm happy it's such a big event, but it seems like all of Turin is here.
I would like to see the maps or if they
It's a big map here. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is where where's this? So we're not even in Ovo yet. Oh, okay. So we're in this tiny little area, but this is where the giant skating thing is at. Okay. Andiamo.
Andiamo.
Prendo questo.
I don't know if I want to read about Russia in 90.
I want to see Drew. You know?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, of course. Okay. Yes, we can.
Urgefelina. Sì, questo è un po' come il nostro libro dei gatti.
Sì. First book of the day. And it's, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what it's about yet. But the two things. Number one, it reminds me of my childhood because it's a choose your own adventure book. But I specifically picked this one because the author was there and he was drawing, in it. And I'm excited to read it, to choose my own adventure and see. But and then he signed it for me. So for me, it's nice to be able to interact with the actual author. So first haul of the day. We'll see.
We read also this. We just finished.
Yep.
And I think we read this, no?
Yep. That was the first. No.
First,
This was the second.
second, and third. Yeah. Yeah. And do you want another?
I need a break from Fabio Volo. So not today.
Le prime luci del mattino.
You can if you want. You're welcome to get one. Read it on your own.
I like to read with you.
Oh, okay.
Ragazzi che vi vedo con le telecamere, con la macchina fotografica.
Sì, abbiamo un canale di YouTube, però abbiamo comprato 2 libri di Santa Claus. Sì, mi ricordo, sì.
Vedi che ci stanno registrando.
Sì.
Siamo famosi.
Ancora no, però nel futuro
Io credo.
magari.
After 2 days of coming here, it's pretty chaotic and there's a lot of people, but they're managing it really well. To me, I would say there's plenty of bathrooms. There's plenty of like security. I like seeing, a lot of there's like Red Cross people walking around, paramedics.
Yeah.
You've got the fire department, I guess. You've got the carabinieri, which is like the police, kind of.
Yes.
There's plenty of food and there's plenty of space. They've got lots of covering.
And also plenty of entrance and exit, so they are not like one line everywhere.
Yeah, bathrooms too. Oh, I said bathrooms already. But yeah, even getting in, there was a huge line. I thought we were gonna be waiting for like an hour almost, just to get in. But once they opened the doors, it took us like 5 minutes to get in. So overall, I am, obviously, other than just the amount of stands and stuff, this is really well done.
Yes.
Ok. Posso prendere? Sì, grazie.
And they're even giving out free tea.
Yes, this is a nice thing, no?
Yeah. Yeah, they could charge. There's no reason why. They don't have to give out free tea because, there's just so many people here just spending money. But, I don't know, it's great. So you found it. You were hunting for how long? It was like half an hour trying to find that. But I'm happy for you. I was watching you like from afar and I was like, I looked, it looked like you were about to give up, and I was like, oh, she didn't find it. And then I saw you pulling some books and I was like, oh, that looks like it. And then it wasn't it. And I was like, oh. And then you looked up and I was like, oh, that has to be it because it had that purple background. And then you saw it and I was like, oh. Yeah. That was cool. I'm very happy you found it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is day 3 for us. It's not going to be our last day. It lasts until Monday, but it's Sunday right now. And there's one place I've wanted to go, and it's the only place here that has a line. And we haven't been able to go for the last 2 days. So now we've kind of explored almost everything. So we're going to go see if we can get into this exclusive book area. But we just have to find it. It's funny. We found it. We're here. And the last 2 days when we were here, the line was kind of long. They have a sign that says like how many minutes it should take. You have to wait. And there was like I think the line was like 10 minutes. And, but I was like, I don't want to wait. We were tired. And now our last day, it's longer than it ever has been. We're past the 15-minute line. Yeah, it's a whole loop. It's wrapped around the entire thing. But that's fine. We're here. We just got here, so we have lots of energy. But I don't want to leave without being able to check this place out. So we're going to just wait. So the name of this public show is Lipo Campo. It is by far the most popular
booth, if you want to call it that, but it's the coolest one. It's like a little village inside. It's Japanese themed.
Yes.
Why is it so popular? Do you know? Are you familiar with this publisher?
No, I don't, and I think it's effect of this very particular stand.
Okay.
I think they remove in this way they one of last book
Okay.
botteghe giapponesi, qualcosa del genere che sì. No, I don't know. I don't know why it's so popular.
Yeah, earlier I felt like, oh, it's partially because it's the coolest looking booth here, but also because the line, right? They literally put the line out there, and the line makes people want to get in the line because it's popular. But I don't know. I'm excited. It's funny because to me, I don't even know if I'm going to like any of the books. I've never heard of this publisher, but I will see. We've been in the line for what, 5 minutes now?
Yeah.
And we've already passed the 15-minute sign. So I will say it's moving relatively quickly. So yeah, not so bad. The nice thing is that they have these windows so that before you get in, you can kind of see if there's something that you want, and you're kind of like watching other people leaf through their books. So you get an idea. So when we're in here, I don't want to stay for too long just because it's crowded, but also so we can get in and get out so that other people can get in. But we did find one book. The first book we ever read together, I think, or no, maybe it was Animal Farm. One of the first books that, Ellen and I read together. She reads to me in English and I read to her in Italian to both improve. And one of the first books we ever read together in English, or that she read to me, was The Great Gatsby. So we saw The Great Gatsby illustrated here. So I think that's one of the ones that we're going to try to see if we can get.
Yeah.
Ok, prego, grazie. Anche altri.
Nice. Popular table. I like these Tokyo books too, but
Allora, adesso questi iniziano.
this seems like the actual story.
Grosso.
Sì. Possiamo? Okay. All right, we'll get this one. Okay, andiamo. Let's get out of here. E le borse quanto costa questo?
Addirittura shopper in maggio, perché a partire dai 40 euro di spesa il totale è 59,80, quindi una shopper puoi scegliere.
Ok, quello.
Paghi con la carta?
Sì, grazie.
Quando vuoi, puoi appoggiare.
Can we say what we got or no? All right, so we got 2 books. We'll show it later when we do our complete haul what we got. But I'm most excited, not most excited. I'm excited because we got one book I wasn't expecting, and it was right next to the one that we got. And then also we got this free bag,
Yes.
which I really like.
Beautiful bag, yes.
So, all right, so the next thing I want to do is there's a YouTuber that I watch. Now I can't remember his name. I feel bad. But there's a YouTuber that I watch. He's got about 300,000 subscribers. He's a pretty big YouTuber. And I watched him just to learn Italian. He's got his own podcast about philosophy, different types of stuff. And I saw that he's actually here. So we're going to go to his booth and see if we can see if he's there today. And if so, I'll remember his name then.
Andiamo.
Andiamo. Okay, so we found the booth. His name is Riccardo Dalfero. I feel bad for not remembering, but I basically just listened to him because I like philosophy and things like that, and it's good for me to listen. So his is one of the podcasts, so it's really cool to come here and see him in person. I don't know if he's from here or whether he came just for this event, but it's just cool to see somebody that you watch on a regular basis. So for me, I listen to mostly.
Cosa sta succedendo qua? Cosa sta succedendo qua? Cosa sta succedendo?
Parlando di te.
Visto che filmavate.
Sì, sto imparando italiano e guardo il tuo canale
Dove sei?
da qua, da Torino, però sono americano.
Sei americano?
Sì.
Di
sì.
dove?
Da Arizona.
Arizona?
Sì.
Fantastico.
Sì, però scusami,
Phoenix?
No.
No?
Sud di Phoenix.
Ah, su di Phoenix?
Sì, circa del frontiera,
Ah,
no? Frontiera di
tifi
Messico.
Phoenix Suns?
Sì?
Sì?
Non so, sì, lo so. Sì.
Booker? Segui il basket?
Un po', però il mio team, non lo so, è preferito a San Antonio Spurs.
San Antonio
perché
Spurs,
sono nato, sì.
Victor Wembanyama.
Sì, ecco, sì, sono nato di là, quindi sì, piacere di conoscerti, sì, grazie.
Racconta, how you discovered him?
Stavo cercando podcast para spagnolo, per migliorare, mi piace filosofia,
Sì,
quindi
sì,
il tuo canale sì, mi viene...
Mi fa molto piacere.
Sì,
Grazie, sai, grazie.
ieri stavo guardando a te e non so, ho guardato che stai qui e...
Sì. Se volete oggi alle 2 registro il Daily Cogito qua dal vivo.
Ok, alle 2.
Alle 2?
Alle 14 qui.
Assolutamente,
Sarà bello?
assolutamente.
Dai, ti ha fatto
Grazie
molto
mille,
piacere.
sì.
Grazie,
Ci vediamo
è stato un
alle
piacere, è
2.
stato un
Ci vediamo
piacere.
dopo.
A dopo, Riccardo, grazie.
So that was super cool. I was literally talking to him and he came up to me and started talking, forced me to practice my Italian, which was fantastic. So he invited us back. They're doing the actual podcast, I believe, at 2 today. So we'll go watch it live. That was a huge surprise. Really like that.
Yes.
Super nice to meet him and yeah. All right, so this is super cool because we're right next to the Lingotto Mall, I guess. And it used to be the Fiat factory. And we've been up here once. We have another video where we actually went to the roof and they have like a racetrack up there. But what we didn't do last time we went through the mall area and they have like a museum. But this time, this is the actual, I guess, track where they would drive the cars to get up to the roof so that they could test their cars out. So this is cool. Well, this is something new I've never done. So I'm excited, but it's part of Lingotto. So I'm excited to see what's up there now.
Yes, I think we are going to discover some unusual places where they usually close.
I hope so. It's always cool to find new things. Okay, so we made it to the top of the Lingotto building. So we're on like the pista, you know, the track, the race track that they had many years ago. What blew my mind when I first came up here is that they built this in like, I think they started building it in the 20s, you know, and I was like, which obviously they built the pyramids, right, thousands of years ago, but I just didn't think that they would be building something like this way back then because cars were so new. And the fact that it's still standing here after the war and everything is really cool. And to me, it's a privilege that they let us come up here, you know. And it's a museum, which we still technically haven't been to the full museum yet. But the view is great. The weather is perfect. And I don't know if you can just come up here and see, or if they have books or anything up here. But either way, I'm glad that we can come up here during the fair.
Yes, it's a very special spot to admire also city.
And we picked the best day because it's like the other 2 days it was kind of like rainy. The first day it was less, it was kind of like it rained a little bit and didn't, it was like partially cloudy, and then Friday it was raining most of the day. We didn't come Saturday because we went to Monte Carlo, and today it is like perfect. The view of the mountains, honestly, this is even better than the first time we came here. Like this is like, it looks like fairy tale-ish.
Guarda.
All right, that's it. We are finished with Salone del Libro 2026. and it was way better than I expected. I expected it to be great, to find, of course, lots of books, but the actual event itself was very enjoyable. So I'm glad that we came Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, because Thursday was the least busy, which I thought was going to be crazy, but actually wasn't too bad. Friday was okay. It was raining, but today was quite busy. But even still, like we said before, there was so much infrastructure and planning you can tell that has gone into this. There's lots of space, lots of everything that anybody could need, and it made it a much more enjoyable experience than it could have been with all of these people. I'm really happy with the books that we found. I mean, I could have bought probably 10 more books. I think we bought more than more than we were planning, but we'll show those when we get home. I'm very happy with what we got, but I think the rest we'll get from the library, because I think we have enough to read for at least, what, a week? No, I'm just kidding. We have enough to last us for a while, I think. And the rest we'll get from the library. But for now, these will last us until next year.
My favorite part was, I think, this halls 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There was a small editor, so you can find some particular book. I like it, the fact that there are authors, self-editors.
Self-publishing, yeah.
Yeah, self-publishing, yes. I like it when you can stop, you can read about what this book, they explain, they speak to you. Yes, I like it, all this mood of fair.
I definitely want to come again next year.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we finished Salone del Libro, and it's over now. We are super excited, and we are going to show you everything that we got, both free and what we purchased, because we actually got some cool free stuff, or at least according to me. Secondo me.
Yes,
I want to speak in Italian. I'll go first. The first thing I thought that was cool, literally the first free thing that we got were like bookmarks, right? I think this was the very first bookmark. No, this one right here. I think this was the first bookmark. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to show all the bookmarks, but we got a million bookmarks. And if you're a big reader, you know how important bookmarks are. They're like the thing that it's like whenever you want a bookmark, you can't find it and you end up using like a piece of paper or some piece of plastic or old credit card or something. Yeah, you end up using like an old credit card or something like that. But we got not only a lot of bookmarks, but some really cool looking ones. At least I think there's some really cool ones. So people were handing them out left and right. So some cool bookmarks. That's the first free stuff that we got. Lots and lots of bookmarks. I'm happy about that.
After we walked by this another bench, booth, and we stopped a little. You asked, what is this? What is this MP? And lady from this booth, she gave us first this bag.
Yeah, that's right. She gave us that bag. I forgot about that, yeah.
Yes, she gave us this bag. And she spoke about this historic site they find in Sardinia.
Yeah, that's one cool thing about it, is that they had different sections, obviously of books, but also regions. So they had like regions where there was authors just from Puglia, just from Piemonte, just from Sardinia, and this was the Sardinia booth, and it was huge.
Yeah, and we had in Omaggio free version of this
Omaggio means like a free
magazine,
gift.
yeah. So we will discover, and she explained it, and like she said, it's more older than pyramids.
Yeah.
Quindi,
so
not only books, but also a little of history.
Yeah, and it was cool because, you know, we love history. I really want to go to Sardinia, so that booth was really cool to me. And so to get some free magazines that, of course, I can always practice my Italian, but they're interesting magazines. But this was actually cool because we were wanting to maybe get a bag, and we saw there was like a bag for like 18 euros. It was just like this, same style, but obviously a different design. And we were like, never mind, we're not going to get a bag. So, but then she just gave us this one for free. So we had a bag to kind of tote our books around, and of course, I don't know, at least where I'm from in the US, you know, bags are not that big of a deal. A lot of times they use plastic bags, whatever, but here people use bags for everything. So it's nice to have a new bag, and this one was nice for our books. The other free thing that we got, same thing, another bag. This was one of the coolest booths that was there. In the video we showed already,
this special booth that always had a line, and then they gave us this bag. I actually wanted this one. I was gonna pay for it, but because I spent enough money, I only bought 2 books out of this place, but I spent enough to where they basically give it to you for free if you spend over a certain amount of money. So, so that's the free stuff that we got.
Yes, we have 2 bags.
Yeah, two new bags that we like to use, and they will definitely get used.
Okay, but first book you bought, I remember. So start.
Yeah, okay. We'll start with the very first purchase that we got was on day 1. It's this one. And so we're going to say the books that we got and why. And this specific book, I got it for two reasons. The first one was because I saw the author was like drawing. He was literally drawing in the book, and I thought that was really cool, and it kind of caught my attention. And there was other authors that were drawing, and so I thought that was neat. So I was just watching him draw, and I thought it was really good and how fast he was able to do these drawings. So that was kind of, it's not necessarily the main reason why I bought the book, but the second reason after I started talking to him is that basically when I was young, they had these things called choose your own adventure books, where you read to a certain page and then they say, okay, choose this. If you want to, go into the cave, go to page 5. If you don't want to go in the cave and you want to take a horse somewhere or whatever, go to page 57. And you basically keep doing that and you have different endings. And that's what this is. And I didn't know that they still made books like this. So he was telling me about it, and I haven't read one since I was a kid. And so I asked him if he signed it, and he did sign it. But then Elena was like, oh, can you dedicate it to me? So he wrote my name, actually. So it just says to Philip. So I appreciated that he did that. So not only do I have the actual artist's drawing on there, he dedicated to Philip on there. So I thought that was neat. Personal touch to me, that was a big deal, just to have not only the book, whether it's good or bad, the experience was kind of cool. So that's why I got that one.
Interessante.
And your first book?
I think my first book, it was this, Il tram di Natale.
And why did you get that one?
I get this one because actually this was one I searched.
Okay.
Not specifically this book, but this style, because I like style of Jean-Claude Izzo. And I searched somebody who can write in his style. And I found this can be similar story about drama in life, no? And so we searched, we both booth, and we find this book. It's Il tram di Natale. There are different people with different destiny meet. Every of this character has their own drama. So
yeah, and this one we're reading together because we searched for books obviously for us to read individually, but this one is one we're going to read together.
So I'm interested to discover which emotions this book bring to us.
Well,
this is was my first purchase.
My second one was this one. It's called Elric. This one is the only one where I'm kind of going on a limb. It's a dark fantasy. I'm not even going to show it. I was looking at it and I was looking for graphic novels. I think I said it in the intro that I like graphic novels. I loved comics as a kid. So I was looking for like a mature graphic novel, something I can get into. And it's dark fantasy, kind of like R-rated Lord of the Rings type thing. And it looked interesting. The drawings are really, really good. I would show, actually I can show some. It's just, it's a heavy story. So I'll show a little bit of art here, but the art was good. I really know almost nothing about this author, about this. So this one could be awful. I could hate it, but that's to me the beauty of when you're searching for a book. It's like a hunt. So after the day I bought it, I started to read just the very beginning to kind of check it out, and it's definitely heavy. It seems like the themes in here are quite heavy, but we'll see. I'm interested to see. Maybe I'll love it, maybe I'll hate it, but that's why I got this one.
But my next book, I think I bought this.
It was this one.
This one,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but this is because when you go there to all these booths, they ask you which genre do you like read, which kind of book do you like, and we were open, so we were trasportati by our feelings. So, and I saw this and caught my attention with the graphic. See this picture, and seller, the girl, she spoke about this book, and I like it, and also because this book it's cioè ambientato in Genova.
It takes place in Genoa.
Takes place in Genoa, so I like also read something about life in Italy, so I can understand what they describing.
Yeah.
And this is this author. I discovered she is actually a psychologist. So in this bottega, La Bottega dei Miracoli, this little shop, enter different clients. And with different problems, and they heal their problems, and so they help. So you enter unhappy and you out happy. So I like it. This is also, I think, next to Christmas time.
Yeah.
So this is, yes, I like this fairy tale.
Yeah.
Fairy tale without mystic, but with something magical.
Yeah.
Quindi sì, questo qua è il mio.
Yeah, and I like this because we didn't talk about these beforehand. We didn't really talk about why we bought all these books. So I'm hearing this for the first time too, so it's cool to know why you why you bought that one. In line with what you said about it being in Genoa, taking place in Genoa, that's kind of one of the next book I bought is La Città delle Streghe, which is the city of witches. And this book takes place in Turin. So I don't know a ton about Italy, but I know probably the most about Turin. And same thing. And actually, I really like the cover has the fountain on there. You see these all over Turin with the bull with the toro there.
Torret.
It's called a what?
Torret.
Torret. Okay. So that kind of caught my attention because it's something you see all over Turin. And the same thing. The authors were sitting in the booth. Not this specific author, but some of the authors of the books that were in this booth were sitting there, and they talked to me about it. And we got there, and it's hard because it's so big. You don't want to buy anything right away because you don't know if you're going to find something later you're going to like. So we walked around, I think the first day, and we saw not everything, but we saw a lot. And I thought, okay, I like what they said about this book. It's a 4-book series, 3 books, and then a prequel. This is the first one. So if I like it, I'll get the other ones through this publisher. But that's why I got it, because specifically it was in Turin and I liked it. It had the Tourette.
Yes. Actually I can read next because I like this kind of genre.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Next, this instead this I looked for again, like first about drama. I wrote I would like this genre drama. This 4 giorni senza mia madre. This is book take place in next to Paris. They are like family. I don't know. I didn't read a lot because I don't want spoiler myself. They're like family. They live normal life, everyday life, and Mamma, the mother of this family, she like disappear for 4 days. She says I need break. So I don't know what happened, but this event changed life because something different from everyday life, and because Jean-Claude he is a French author, so I would like, and my favorite book, Il Sole dei Morenti, starts from Paris, so I wanted to again read something about the life next to Paris.
okay.
This is my next book.
I don't know if this was the next. Yeah, I think these are the next ones that I bought. These are actual comics. And I specifically bought these because of my daughters. My daughters both love to draw. And one of my daughters really loves to draw cats. And so when I saw the cat on the cover, it reminded me of her style of drawing. She draws quite well. So I opened it up. But again, I looked at this and I was amazed because this one, when I opened it up and looked at the art, it can be like very cute. The art is very good. I don't know if you can see that very well, but the art is very good and the cats are very cute, but it's a dystopian story. It's about some dystopian world. And I was kind of amazed when I opened it up and there's like, there's like cats surviving and they're like savage, but the author really mixes like drawing his style with really cute animals, but also very savage things that happen where they have to survive. There's like monsters out there, they have to fight to survive. So I specifically bought this because of my daughters. This is what I've shared already. I've shared some of this with them. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll send this to them. And then I thought, oh, they don't read Italian, but I probably will still send it to them anyway because they can still understand, I think, what's going on, and I can tell them kind of the story if they want. But these specifically I finished this one already. It was very short. And again, everything I read is always practice for me. So it was cool because I was able to read this one pretty much without a translator. That's always a test for me. Very interesting story. Yeah, but that's why I got these two. So I'll probably be sending these to my daughters.
My next book, this. I did travel with my books because Genova, Parigi, Equisses takes place in New York. Yeah. Yes, and this is, I actually started this already. This book, I didn't know what is this. I just saw this cover and I liked pictures. I searched what about this book. I liked drama. We searched it the next day because I took only pictures and I didn't know which booth it was.
Yeah, because the strategy was like, if we did like something, we would take a picture of the book and then of the booth number so that we could come back and see it. But she forgot to take a picture of the booth.
Yeah.
So
and in the end, this booth, it was Libraccio, where they selling books.
Secondhand books.
See, not only secondhand, also secondhand, but in discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have. I asked the sellers. They don't have l'archivio, catalogo, so they don't know if they. And they said, no, go to search. And I spent maybe 20 minutes to search, and I found that this.
But what was really lucky is not this one, but the first one that you took a picture of. It had that 50% discount on there, so we knew what section it was in because we had no idea. The fair was so big. We just saw the book. She didn't know where the booth was, so we were looking everywhere. But then we saw that it had the 50% discount, so maybe it's at the Libraccio, which was Libraccio. Yeah. So at least it gave us a clue. But then we spent a good half hour, 40 minutes trying to find it, but I was so happy for you.
Yes, me too, because I read at home after in the end of first day. I read and I liked this story because it's tra cinque anni. This interesting because this main character, she knows everything about her life. She very organized and also she planned everything. But after she fell asleep and see her life in 5 years in future. And it's completely different. And after she wake up and she can't understand, basta, I don't want to know more because I would like to read and discover what happened. Yes, what there is a life, real life, or this is a dream, and how it's important to plan, but also to live life to have a chance to change and accept what it bring. Life bring. Quindi questo sì, in New York.
So my last purchase, I think my last individual purchase, because we have a couple more books, I got it for 2 reasons. The first one was the cover. I like the cover. And this one, I bought a couple of fantasy novel type books. But this one is more like paranormal, aliens, ghosts type thing. So I didn't read too much about it either because I didn't want to spoil it. But the name of it is Vesta. So first reason was because of the cover, but the second reason was because of the author's name, right? The author's name is Filippo Polenki. So I was like, Filippo, my name is Filippo in Italian. So it caught my attention. I looked at it. I think I didn't buy it the first day or second day. I went back and got it. It was the last purchase I got because I wanted another novel type book to read. So I read the first couple pages, and for me, a big thing too wasn't just the story. I would usually read and see how difficult is the grammar,
Yes, because exactly these old books, they are in Italian and you're reading in Italian.
Yeah, so I'm reading in Italian, so I read the first couple of pages to see if I can understand if the vocabulary is too heavy. For example, the one that we're reading, Briscola and Cinque, is difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very different grammatically, and they use a lot of dialect.
Yes.
It's so hard for me to read, but it's good because then when I go read something easier, it seems like it's such a relief to read an easier book. So most of these books, I think I'll be able to read with a little bit of effort. But this one didn't seem too difficult. So, but yeah, that's why I got this one. I'm excited to read it. And our last 2 books we bought together, and these we got in that special booth. It was super popular.
Non mi ricordo.
Yeah, what was the publisher? It was Lipocampo.
Ippocampo, sì.
Lipocampo, yeah. So we bought these together. So the first book, I think we explained this on camera anyway, but if we didn't, I'll do it again. And number one, they're the actual books themselves, but they have beautiful drawings in them. So I love art. That's one of the reasons why I love graphic novels. But I love to be able to kind of like see beautiful art while I'm also reading the story. But I don't really want to read like comics like when I was young, where it's mostly just pictures and no words. But this is the actual books themselves, but they have beautiful drawings. But you know, it's actually the full book as well, along with the drawings. So for me, I love that, where you can read the book. Obviously, you can see it's mostly words. You know, it's mostly the actual story itself, but they do intermittently have, you know, these wonderful drawings, you know, wonderful art in there. Yeah, it's just beautiful. So I really liked that idea when we were going, because the publisher Lipocampo mostly were books of just art.
Wow, I didn't know this.
This comes out like that. Yeah, so I love the idea, but this place, the publisher Lipocampo, they mostly do like illustrative stuff. So most of their books that were in there, even though this booth was super popular, it's all like art books. So you open them up and it's just illustrations and drawings. Some are for children, but some are like, they had like one book called Tokyo, and it's just all a bunch of like watercolor of Tokyo. I mean, big book of art. And that stuff's really cool for me, but I didn't really want that. But we got these two specifically. One, because The Great Gatsby is one of my favorite books. I just love this book. I've read the book multiple times, I think. And then I started listening to it in Italian, but it's the first book that you read to me in English.
Yes.
So I read to her in Italian, she reads to me in English. And this was the first book she read to me in English. I could read it over and over. I love it. So the fact that, you know, they had it in this wonderful art style, I want to read it myself in Italian, which I haven't. So that's why we got this one.
Yes, and I enjoyed to read in English because you explained me few things, because you understand, because it's about your culture.
Right.
And it was wonderful to read. And second book, it's Dorian Gray.
Yeah, The Picture of Dorian Gray. And this is also one of my favorite stories. I've actually never read the full book, even in English. But this one for me, I remember when I was a kid, I was in school, and we had one of those like movie days, and my teacher brought in the movie The Picture of Dorian Gray, but it was like the black and white one, the older version of it. And I thought, I don't want to watch this dumb black and white movie. And I fell in love with the story. I thought it was amazing. And actually, when we went to, I don't know, well, I'm going to spoil it anyway. If you haven't read it, I'm going to spoil it. So spoil now the end of it. But basically, you know, it's this beautiful guy, and he does all this bad stuff, and all the bad stuff that he does gets transferred into this painting. And at the very end of the book, he looks at this painting that's supposed to be this beautiful picture of him, and it's horribly ugly because all the bad stuff that he did. So that's the end of it. And in the movie, when I was a kid, they reveal the painting, and it's this horrible, ugly painting. And when we were in Chicago, that painting is there in the Chicago Museum of Art. I didn't know that. And so when I saw it, I was amazed. It was really cool to see that painting that was in the movie, in the art, and that movie had a big impact on me. I loved the story. Never read it. But the reason why we got this one is for two reasons. One, I love the story and I do want to read it. So I'll read it in Italian. But also, it's the first book I ever bought in Italian, which I haven't read yet, because I bought it 2 years ago when I came to visit.
Yeah.
No? Was it 2 years? Oh, in September, it will be 2 years. Yeah, my very first time coming to visit you here, we were in Bologna and it was raining. I remember it very vividly, and I saw the picture of Dorian Gray, and I said, one day, my Italian's going to be good enough, I'm going to read it. So I bought the novel, just the novel itself, which I haven't read yet. I haven't even attempted yet. I don't know whether I can read it or not, but I saw this and I thought, okay, here's another version of it. It's got the pictures as well. Same reason why we got the Gatsby, but this is the full book, and I'm looking forward to trying to read it.
Yeah, this is, so it's not just a book, this is also like a piece of art.
Yeah. All the art in here is just gorgeous. So, but yeah, so that's all of our book purchases. The only other thing I purchased specifically, and it's going to seem a little silly, but I don't care, is we're moving to the new house, and I have the little office area desk, and I like to decorate my office with like little pieces of something, right? And so this one, they had this cool little booth that had all these like pop culture, you know, things, Mario, and they had Stan Lee or whatever. And this is Goku, for those of you who don't know. And I grew up with Dragon Ball in the 90s. I would say before it was even popular. Now Dragon Ball is huge, but I followed Dragon Ball in the 90s when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite animes growing up. And it just reminded me of my childhood, and I like the style. you know, of that. And so I just imagine like putting this, you know, on my desk somewhere just to have style and art, you know, on my desk. So I liked it. It wasn't that much. And the people were really nice when we went up to the booth. I was just looking, and Eleanor was taking pictures, you know, and they were like, "Oh, take a picture of us," which I was actually amazed at. Like, she had her camera, and random people would just come up to us and go, "Take my picture." You know what I mean?
Sometimes friends, I would like to take pictures. No, photo, no. Random people take my pictures.
Yeah, and it was weird. And they didn't even ask. Literally, people, this happened more than once. People would come up to us, take my picture. We take the picture, thank you, and then go away. They didn't ask us to send it to them, nothing. It was quite interesting. So
this is particular of this, they explained me, booth names Il Capellaio Matto. They produce this on aluminium, recycled.
yeah.
So they explain it. They take care of planet.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that was our last purchase. Tell me about your experience overall. Just do a summary of your experience.
Yes, this was first time I participated. I enjoyed, and we went there 3 days. And if we could, I would go there 4th day because I like it so much. This atmosphere, it's I don't know, it brings you this feeling. Even if you don't buy anything, you walk there, you touch, you open, you heard, you see. It's wonderful. I now I understand people who wait for this event and go every year and return, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, like Elena was explaining, the energy was really electric. You know, you kind of like, everybody's kind of excited to be there. I liked it. They had so many booths. Like they had like really big like news booths, Italian podcasts, like really popular. Some of them were like really, really big. But some of my favorite things were the author like writing and signing that book for me and doing that drawing. It was really nice meeting Riccardo Dal Ferrero. Is that how you say that? Riccardo
Dal Ferro.
Riccardo Dal Ferro with the podcast. I think Rick the Fuhr, I think is the name of his podcast.
Instead, what you didn't like? There are something what you didn't like, but
honestly, I don't have a lot of negative things to say. Of course, it was crowded, but you know, we were part of the crowd too, so I can't complain too much. So it was really crowded. Sometimes people didn't want to give you space or bumping into you, you know. But that's just what are you gonna do, you know? I will say I understand why they do this, but sometimes I just wanted to go look at books and just like flip through them. But either some of the authors or the people that were managing the booths, they want to come talk to you for like 20 minutes, and you're just like, I just wanted to like pick the book up or pick up 4 or 5 books, and you pick up one book and they start explaining everything about that specific book and why you should buy it and everything. So it didn't happen at every booth, but it kind of discouraged me sometimes if I wanted to, like, I was a little bit curious, but I thought, if I go there, they're going to talk to me for 20 minutes and I just kind of want to pass by or look through real quick. So that was a little bit of a negative, but not really. And sometimes the opposite was true. It was really nice to talk to.
Yes, for example, this book, if they started to explain, and I purchased this book exactly for this reason, because they spoke, they explained what about, But this, to me too, sometimes I was also discouraged maybe because they want to explain it, and this is a good, but maybe
sometimes they were some places were more aggressive than others about, buy this book or you should buy it, and okay, it's fine, that wasn't a big deal, but that's really nitpicking.
One time you enter, you can't go out with tickets.
That was the other negative thing.
Yes, because maybe I would like also to go out to eat or sit down, because there are places to sit, but not so much.
There was some like hidden places. There was some places that you could go upstairs. I don't think a lot of people knew that you could go upstairs. And so there was kind of like some hidden places that you could kind of go and sneak. But there were, especially towards the end, you could see like people sitting on the ground or like on booths and stuff. There wasn't a lot of like seating. But we bought the full pass, meaning we can go every single day. We went 3 of the 5 days, right? But you can't, once you enter for the day, you can't leave and come back in. So same thing. And I get that. They have all the booths, they have all the vendors, they want you to stay in. And they did have enough food. They had enough places to go to the bathroom. I thought that was really cool. All the bathrooms were really clean. So I understand why they didn't want to let you out, but at times I felt like I'd like to go out, maybe sit down, go to a different place that's less crowded.
So this is, if you go you can spend there all day, but shoes comfortable, water,
Yeah.
and backpack or trolley.
Yeah.
Because we saw different people with trolley.
Yeah, with they had like luggage, like suitcase luggage.
Yeah, to put books.
So that's all we have for Salone del Libro. Thank you again for watching this far. If you enjoy content like this, events like this, we have many more that we're going to do. If our travel videos or our house update videos, please give us a like and subscribe for more. Ciao.
Ciao.